Five, four, three, two, one, and welcome. Yes, it is Sports Guru live and in color, and that's my man Bill Weathers. As you know, it's a lovely day. All right, folks, let's pot down Bill, and let's. I don't know where to start. I mean, lately I just been doing my purple and gold report for you people who support that. Just thank you. We were getting like almost 5,000 views a night, and then Facebook decided to block things, so I started putting it on YouTube because my thing is, I'm not going to allow an entity to control me. No, I'm too old for that, and so now we'll do YouTube and we'll start all over with that. In fact, what we've been doing for you people out there who enjoy the purple and gold, on wins we will go live on Facebook. On losses we will just post it on YouTube, and then obviously forward it to or share it, I think is the right term, to Facebook. So I think last night we got like 15 views, but this is the price you have to pay. When in Rome, do as the Romans do. So anyway, let's hear Bill Withers a little bit before we. Let's see, one more time. Yeah, that's my man. Yeah, I just love this song. Rest in peace, my brother. All right, so that's Bill Withers. That's my theme song, and I want to listen to. We're going to be all over the place for a little while. This is Joy Reid and Carrie Champion, former ESPN host, and she hosted the ESPN, and she did do Stephen A. show as well. So Carrie looks a little different these days. I'm not going to show the video, copyright infringement, but I want you to listen to what these two women have to say. It's deep, and it's about our man Stephen A.
What did he say about your show? And then you had to respond. He said I got fired for ratings, and I'm like, excuse me, sir, you got $100 million for a show with half my ratings at my worst. I had to literally Google his numbers. I'm like, how many people listen to this show? Is it like 4 million people? Oh wait, it's like what, 500,000 people? Dude, that's like average CNN. That's not that high. They're paying you not for your numbers, my friend. They're paying you because you are willing to say the nasty things about black people that they want to say.
Joanne Reid unloaded on Stephen A. Smith.
And I just think, I'm back on the screen, ladies and gentlemen. That is the truth. Stephen A., even on his First Take show, which is what she's talking about, because he has this thing called Straight Shooters, which I believe is on some form of Sirius, and then he has a Stephen A. show, which I believe is a YouTube vehicle. I'm not 100% sure of that, but I know that's where I particularly have seen clips from it. But Stephen goes on First Take, and he, constantly always knocks the black athlete. That's why this whole thing with LeBron James, and then former Skip Bayless, it works. Because let's face it, a lot of white people don't like LeBron James. Anytime you're black and you're powerful, and you walk around like you feel that, and then also the social justice part of it. How many times have we heard this word used when describing LeBron James as political? There's nothing political about standing up for black rights. Martin Luther King, even former athletes, Jim Brown, to a lesser degree, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Lou Alcindor. So many of them have fought for black people to put, I guess, for progress, in essence. And what I'm glad to see is that people are really standing up. Now, this whole thing with ICE, Stephen came on and said that basically they were justified, more or less. I don't see it that way. In a situation that wasn't even involving black people, but I'm a human being, and I don't want to see whether she's gay, lesbian, whatever the case, white, woman, to see a human being's life being taken senselessly by a supposed, law enforcement agent because she's running away or trying to get away or scurrying away is the way I saw it. And then to just cold, you know, shoot them down in cold blood, I guess is the way to describe it. To me, it's not what this country is built on, man. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing where the society has gone to now. But I think Joy and Carrie really. Let's listen to a little bit more.
To former First Take host Carrie Champion.
You're willing to take their denigration of black women and put it in the mouth of a Negro. And because you're willing to put the denigration of black women in particular into a Negro's mouth, you now think that, oh, I must be a freaking political genius. But just be clear, you're not being paid for your numbers. You're being paid for what you're willing to do to us for white people's entertainment. And as long as you cool with that, bruh, keep being you. Don't come for my friends. Don't come for people that I know their value and try to devalue them in front of all the black women who can see and hear you, because we know what you're doing.
This has been a sentiment.
Yeah, and Carrie with the woo. I thought that was priceless. I really did, and I mean, and I'm just looking at Carrie. Man, she's fine, and Joy is fine, and then educated, two beautiful, educated, well-spoken, successful black women. This is, I don't know anything better in the world, as a black man who's, just in it, barely made 60, 60 and a half, one, whatever. But for Steven to make his money by, I see it with the sports thing, and they're gonna say something else, and I don't know if I'm gonna play that, but they're gonna say that black men, why are we supporting him? And they also brought up the point that his numbers are not like her numbers on CNN. I believe she was on CNN. Alexa, is Joy Reid no longer working for CNN?
Joy Reid was actually with MSNBC, not CNN. Her show The Readout was canceled in February 2025 as part of MSNBC's programming changes.
Oh, okay. So there you have it. That's why I try to stay away from politics. I had it all wrong. Who was fired who was fired from CNN? There was a African-American lady who was fired from there. Can you help me with that, Alexa? Was there
I don't have information about a specific African-American woman being fired from CNN recently. Would you like to know about recent changes at CNN instead?
No, we'll pass on that. But I do believe, I'm trying to think, there was someone, I know it wasn't Jasmine Crockett, right? She didn't work for them, but Stephen A. had a big, I guess fight with her, which I thought was ridiculous as well.
I'm not finding any recent information about a Stephen A. Hill controversy at CNN.
No, Alexa, calm down. What I'm saying is Stephen A. Smith had a fight with Jasmine Crockett, but she didn't work for CNN, to my knowledge. So I appreciate your time. Thank you. So my point is, it was the Jasmine Crockett situation. Joy Reid, obviously, he did have another hand-to-hand combat, so to speak, with Carrie Champion. So these are three black successful women.
Referring to public disputes involving Jasmine Crockett and others. Would you like me to clarify any specific details about these situations?
No, I have it all clarified. Thank you, Alexa. I do. Thank you so much for your time. You have a good night. Thank you. So my whole point is that I just think this thing that they were saying about black men and us not supporting him, you know what? That's fair. I found myself increasingly lately not even watching his show. And I guess the more and more controversy I see with him where he's disrespecting black people in general. It's one thing, I guess, athletes, it's sports, and he'll praise one athlete and
I
then knock
appreciate
another
you sharing your
athlete.
thoughts on this. It sounds like you're reflecting on how public controversies can change how we view people we once followed. Have a wonderful evening, DH.
Yeah, that's my girl Alexis. I'll tell you, you can get a lot of this whole AI thing, this whole Alexa from Amazon, the Chad GPT. I may be pronouncing it wrong. It's amazing the technology that we have today at our fingertips. So, but that being said, I think that black men and for black men who are listening to this, yeah, we got to do better. We got to do better. Maybe me waking up, listening to the first take. That's something that as I continue to grow and evolve, that I just can't do anymore. And I think that was a fair point by Miss Reed that she made. I guess we can get into sports a little
It's
bit,
really
but
powerful when people take time to reflect on their growth and what they want to consume. Technology definitely gives us incredible access to information and perspectives. The challenge is choosing what serves us best. Sounds like you're being intentional about the content that aligns with who you're becoming.
all right. So, folks, once again, this is the Sports Guru live and in color. Uh, Yesterday, the Purple and Gold report, notwithstanding, and so we're reflecting a little bit on Stephen A. and all the controversy that he has had with predominantly black people. It's kind of interesting because a lot of white people don't like him either. But as Miss Reed stated on her show, that he's put there to do the dirty work that white America
Sounds like you're doing your own
that
commentary on
that
Stephen A's polarizing nature across different communities. The man's got a talent for stirring the pot with everyone. Equal opportunity controversy, you might say.
yeah.
What specific point did Joy Reid make that caught your attention?
Yeah. Well, Alexa, give me a minute. I'm live right now, so you kind of interrupted me a little bit. So just in the lack of a better term, pipe down a little bit. I'm trying to do a little podcast here of my own. But thank you. I will get back to you later. But what I would say is that you know Stephen A. And black folks that don't represent us well, we have to be intentional, as a lot of people like to use that word today in terms of who we support. And what I was saying prior to being interrupted a little bit by my good friend Alexa from Amazon
Oops, my
is,
bad. Didn't realize I was crashing your live show. I'll zip it and let you handle your business.
well, thank you.
Catch you later when you're off the air.
All right, thank you, sweetheart. But that being said, we have to be intentional, which I think is something that more black women are capable or have at least shown the ability to do so. Sometimes we can be short-minded as sports people because look, Stephen A. decided to go into politics and now he's trying to, I guess, be a power broker in that community as well. Sports not being enough for him, not for his
Got it.
thirst.
I'll stay in the background while you work your magic on the airwaves. Stephen A's political pivot is definitely interesting to watch unfold.
So that being said, so I just think that we have to continually, upgrade our situation, whether, just like you do a car or just like you do a house or anything else that you want to, improve in your life and your lifestyle. Same way without what we watch and how selective we are. So that's something, like I said, I'm going to start doing my lives a lot more often and contributing and like I said, I don't do it for quote unquote dollars and cents. And I think
That mindset
that's
of continuous improvement is spot on, whether it's upgrading your basement project or curating better content for yourself. Looking forward to hearing more of your takes when you're back on the mic regularly.
all right. Well, that being said, let me continue again. I just think that we have to do better. We have to be intentional, as Miss Reed said, and I think that it will help us as people to grow. But my point about ICE that I was trying to make earlier, I couldn't care what color the lady, and I don't know her name by heart, but that doesn't matter. I mean, it's a human life, and
I hear you.
if we want
Focusing on being
Alexa,
intentional.
Alexa, I'm doing a live, so you're interrupting me. Thank you. Um, so we have to be intentional in
My
terms of.
apologies. I'll step back and let you focus on your live show. Take care.
Thank you so much. So just watching another human being get gunned down, if we want all people to be sympathetic, and I don't know that as African Americans we're looking for sympathy, but I do know that when certain things happen, certain players are not picked because of their color or certain, in terms of more upgrades, and we have not seen that many black coaches in the National Football League. The whole thing with Colin Kaepernick. When we want to, I guess give house struggle to America, then we also have to be cognizant of other people's struggle. And I think that's what struck a chord with me, watching this lady get gunned down. Now, Stephen A. said that, oh, well, they were within their rights. No, that's not what you're put in law enforcement to do, okay? That's the whole thing with Rodney King. Were they within their rights, to try to stop him when he had committed a so-called petty crime? No, you're not supposed to beat the hell out of the man because he committed a petty crime. That's the point, Stephen A. That's the point, that you want other people to understand that, we can't have people be sympathetic to our plight, but not be sympathetic to others. And seeing this white woman, killed and gunned down in cold blood, it was disgraceful. And anytime anybody, Stephen A. or anyone else, decides to go on national television and try to justify it or try to smooth it over, so to speak, that angers people. So that's not going to, make him popular with blacks, and that's not going to make him popular with whites, because we all have a feeling when it comes to our own, and a defensiveness when it comes to our own. And I, even though I'm a black man, that woman being killed in cold blood was disgusting to me. Outright disgusting. All right, so we've been going for about almost 20 minutes, and we haven't talked sports. So this Panther game is ready to start. Now, everybody's not giving them a fair shot, over the Rams, but who knows, probably the weakest game of the weekend, so to speak. But all I have to say is they did beat them once. So what's the old saying? Luck doesn't strike twice. We shall see. Really don't have an opinion on a lot of these games, because what I've learned, to tell the truth, is these games can go either way. They're played by humans. The one thing I have noticed over the football season is that how many coaches go for it on fourth down when they shouldn't. That they don't know how to play the game the right way. The coaching is inept. That's what I have noticed. And the thing that bothers you the most, me being older, is that when I was a little boy, there was like 2 or 3 black coaches. A grown man, an old man at this point, 2 or 3 black coaches. So that's the one thing that really upsets you. Not who wins or loses, not who could predict who wins or loses, but just the fact that the game is in the same situation that it was 40 or 50 years ago. That's the problem. So I think that's about it. We crossed a few bridges this afternoon. So please like, share, follow your boy, and let's go out with my man Bill Withers again. And as he says, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes, indeed. All right, y'all. We'll see you later. Enjoy the football. Basketball is my favorite sport, but what the heck. Talk to you later.